All right, Shalom Akim. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles that rule well by the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And honors and blessings to you brothers out there in sincerity and in truth. This is the brother Yakuwal again. Just want to make a quick video. Basically, just want to talk about leaning into your own understanding. You know, the scriptures tell you otherwise, that, you know, the way the world looks up, you know, go according to your heart. If it feels right, do it. All those things, you know, that's wrong and that's wicked. And I just want to speak about that real quick because, honestly, the more and more we get close to the end, and more before we're tried to our ultimate trials, your mind's gonna want to play tricks on you. You know, that's the whole purpose of, you know, being tried, to see if you can withstand whatever it is that comes against you, especially your own self, because, you know, we are our own worst enemy. And in those times when we come to our darkest moments, we got to be able to see past our own lusts or our own you know, obstacles, you know, and we got to remain faithful to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know. And that's really what I was about to read right here in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 3. I'll start at verse 1, actually. Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law. And, you know, right away it's even saying, forget not who? The Most High's law. But let thine heart keep my commandments. So first of all, man, we should already be going according to the way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, not our own will or our own thoughts. You know, it says, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Now he's telling you what you'll get for you if you obey, if you do what he tells you to do. It says, hold on, let me get the camera real quick. It says, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So the Most High is telling you, what should you be putting in your mind? The commandments, the law, you know, the ways of the Most High that he told man to abide by. It says, so shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High man. So if you go upon the ways of the Most High, you'll be able to you're going to understand when you're going off. You know, you're going to see, like, oh shit, like, oh, what I'm thinking is wrong. Let me go back to the scriptures, you know, and see where I'm going off. You know, there's a scripture, man, I can't remember which one exactly. I think it might be in Proverbs, but the scriptures talks about, it says, can anything good come out of man? You know, but it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So that's the point I want to make right now is, and it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. You know, because the scriptures tell you that in Jeremiah 17:9, that the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked above all things. Who can know it? Meaning you don't understand. You know, like my brother was talking to me the other day about something, man, where, you know, the scriptures, how it says, like, oh, the depths of wisdom and the riches of wisdom. Well, there's an opposite to everything. So there's depths of wickedness and dark understanding, which is basically going to your own understanding that people don't understand. They think it just stops at do what feels right, and that's it. And then, like, there's no consequence to that. You know, there's a consequence to everything. And people don't understand how deep it really goes. For instance, going upon your own understanding has you believe you're doing everything right. You'll be fully delusioned and persuaded in your mind that you are right and you will always be right, and that you don't need to be corrected and everything. But I'm going to continue to verse 6. It says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So be not wise in thine own eyes. You know, that goes into being conceited, being like, you know, everything what you think is right. You know, looking at, because actually I'm going to get that definition, but, you know, we're in a time, man, where our minds are fully set against us. You know, that they don't work with us. Our own minds don't want to work with us. It's subject to the flesh. You know, it wants to go according to the ways of the world. And that's how people, that's what they don't understand. And that's what we got to understand, that We are our own worst enemies. You can become wise in your own conceit without even knowing, you know? And then when a brother tries to correct you, it doesn't sit well with you because, well, you're finally convicted. Your spirit's being convicted, and you're finding out that what you thought you knew was actually wrong. You know, and it could destroy you. It will destroy you. If you don't take it, if you don't take that correction, it'll destroy you. You know, but I'm going to go ahead and get Isaiah 5:21. It says, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight." So the scriptures tell you already, woe unto a person, a man or woman or child that's thinking like this. The Lord didn't ever say to go upon your own understanding, man. He said otherwise. I just read it in Proverbs. That you got to put his ways upon you so that you can maneuver his. Well, in fact, to go back real quick to that one, I guess. Sorry, I only have one hand. It says, Proverbs 3:4. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High man. So you'll be able to. So the Most High will help you maneuver through these things if you go upon His ways, not what you think or what you want. That's the problem with Israel and the whole world as a whole. They want to do what they think is right, and they think that what they're doing is right. They seriously think they're going to inherit the kingdom for these lives that they've lived, when they have no idea that wrath is just sitting upon them, man. That they're about to get messed up, you know. This is Sirach chapter 3, verse 24. It says, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment." So because they wanted to be wise in their own conceit, they wanted to, not receive correction. Okay, they're deceived, you know. So let me because I had looked up the word conceit in the etymology online dictionary, and it went down to conceit, let's see if I can get it. It went down to conceit, conceited, ego, egotism, vanity. Now this is the word conceit, which says something formed in the mind. So it starts within your mind. When you're starting to become conceited, it's the thoughts that you're thinking. It's not the Most High that's doing that. It's you. Something formed in the mind, thought, notion, from conceiving, based on analogy of deceit and receipt. Sense evolved from something formed in the mind to fanciful or witty notion. You know, it's not real. It's to vanity, through shortening of self-conceit. So it's and what do we know is vanity? Vanity is even right here. That which is vain, futile, or worthless. Self-conceit, futility, lack of resolve. From the Latin vanitatum, emptiness, aimlessness, falsity, foolish pride. Empty, vain, idle, self-conceited. So these thoughts that these people think about when your conceitedness really is worthlessness. It's wicked on that, but it's just the Most High is not even looking at you for that. He don't care what you conjure up in your mind, you know. And so the whole point is that in these last times, that when we get to our trials, when we go through everything, we got to be careful not to be going upon our own understanding, because it's right there. I just told you, it's vanity, it's worthlessness. You're not going to get anywhere with it. No, the scriptures tell you, man, what man ever got anywhere without the Lord? He didn't get nowhere. You got to understand that we need Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We need His Spirit in us. We need His understanding. Because he can see it further. He can see further than what we see. He's able to do that, man. I remember there's a movie. I don't know the name of it. I think it came out like last year, but it had Meryl Streep in it, and she had said a quote, but she had said that 9 out of 10 people in the world, when given the choice or when given the opportunity to do the right thing, they don't. Or to choose the right thing, they don't. They say that whenever they're given the opportunity to do the right or wrong, they usually choose the wrong. It's because they think it's right. That's what happens when you don't have the Spirit on you. When you lean into your own understanding. It's like you didn't see nothing happen to you, so you're like, oh, then it must be right. You know, the Most High didn't chastise you to be like, hey, that's wrong. Get right. He didn't want you to get right. And a person who wants to trust in their own understanding is not going to get right. You know, that's why we got to say, verse 6 in Proverbs 3 and 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So he'll help you if you don't go upon your own understanding. And if he does, if a brother does, have a lapse in judgment, and the Lord's dealing with him, that brother would get right, But to the ones who, mainly, man, I'm just trying to, edify and to let you know, man, that leaning unto our own understanding, man, is a very bad thing. The scriptures in Isaiah said, woe unto them who are wise in their own conceit. And if you have that type of mentality, man, like you're gonna be able to do everything on your own in that day, you're wrong. And the main thing just to say to y'all, man, is just, to get up, stay in the Spirit, because it'll keep you from going to the left hand. It'll keep you from going to the left hand side, which is your own self. But until then, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders that rule well by the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And honor to you brothers that are out there still in the truth, okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatah, Kwam Yashawala, Shalom.